Welcome back to Montreal by Night. I believe we left off at Street Guy. Street Guy. Oh my gosh, it's bedtime as usual. I don't know why I don't always do it late, but it's usually when I'm on my way to bed, which is good because it's a nice way to relax, but at the same time, I'm tired and I have usually a couple of drinks. And therefore, I mix it up a lot, even more than usual. Like, I already have a tendency to mix up some words or whatever, but when it's midnight, it's definitely hitting me hard. So, Gay Street. A few blocks east of Atwater is Guy, the major north-south axis that allows access to the Ville-Marie Expressway and Little Burgundy to the south and Côte des Neiges and Montreal to the north. The district the district has gone sorry. The district has gone through some changes in the last few years as buildings around the street have been torn down to make room for parking lots. However, economic difficulties have forced developers to abandon their project before completing them, resulting in a number of partially demolished buildings and empty lots. The stylish York Theatre is one of these casualties. Once a magnificent building, today it is virtual ruin, where only those Kainites will remember its heyday, come to enjoy its tragic peacefulness. A few blocks south of the intersection of Guy and St. Catherine is the elevated Ville-Marie Expressway, which form a border between Little Burgundy and downtown. At night, the area beneath the expressway is home to a number of gangs, which makes passage through it dangerous for mortals. However, that same danger makes the area a prime feeding ground for Kainites. Places of interest. Station 25, located on the corner of de Maisonneuve and Saint-Mathieu, a block west of Guy, is Police Station 25, which has jurisdiction over the entire downtown core. The station officers are infamous for their intolerance of minorities and their harsh, even brutal methods of law enforcement. The station's 100-year-old building is dark and cavernous, placed with small barred windows and narrow corridors. The station is under the control of watchful eye of Felix Carson, one of the Grimaldi revenants of Archbishop Valais. The Montreal General Hospital. It is located above Guy Street and overlooking the entire city is the monolithic General Hospital. This expensive building is Montreal's largest hospital and also one of its oldest. Wing upon wing has been added to it over the years, creating an intricate maze of corridors and split levels. General Hospital houses one of Montreal's largest morgues, a notable area of interest to the Sabbath. Sir George William Campus, Concordia University. Concordia University is one of the two English universities in Montreal. It excels in liberal and creative art education. The, the George William campus is located near Guy Street and houses the university's extensive and newly renovated library, La Maison Mère des Sœurs Grises, and the Grey Sisters Convent. This imposing H-shaped structure has served as the home to one of Montreal's oldest religious order. Built in 1863, it originally included a hospital, an asylum ward, a convent, and a chapel. The convent has since burned down and been rebuilt a number of times. Today, the convent is largely unused. Only a few nuns live there. The hospital and asylum has been abandoned for years and are rumored to be haunted. Sherbrooke Street. Though St. Catherine and Sherbrooke are separated by only 2 blocks, they couldn't be more different. While St. Catherine is bustling with malls, bars, and strip clubs, Sherbrooke is upscale and high class, nearly traversing the entire length of the city. Sherbrooke ran through a number of different areas, from the East End to downtown to Westmount, and finally in the middle-class neighborhoods of Notre-Dame-de-Grâce on Montreal West. Sherbrooke, between Guy Street and Saint Laurent Boulevard, is Montreal's wealthy go-to shop. This stretch is lined by designer boutiques, art galleries, and the city's most prestigious hotels. The Ritz-Carlton, Kempinski, and the Westin Montreal hotels dominate the area. Limousines from Westmount and Outremont ferry Montreal's elite from this road to their social function, sheltering them from the reality of the city. The Golden Square Mile. Located. The area known as the Golden Square Mile is located directly north of Sherbrooke, between Guy Street and McGill University. It is here that years ago Montreal's elite, including the Molsons, O'Keeffe's, and Bronfmans, built their sprawling mansion before moving on to Westmount or Toronto. The streets north of Sherbrooke escaped the Montreal. What the fuck? I'm really tired. Well, yeah. The street north of Sherbrooke escaped the development in the 1950s that drastically changed the look of other areas. Today, large homes and mansions dot the steep streets, creating an antiquated atmosphere. McGill University, one of the top universities in Montreal, in Canada, McGill dominates the Golden Square Mile and downtown. Its main campus is located on McGill College Street above Sherbrooke and contains a number of Gothic buildings. The campus grounds rival of American Ivy League school, and their buildings spill over several blocks, making McGill a virtual city in its own right. McGill is connected to the vast underground city, giving the Sabbath access to the school's numerous library and buildings. The Montreal Museum of Fine Art. On Sherbrooke, between Redpath Street and Avenue du Musée, sits one of Montreal's architectural marvel. The Museum of Fine Art's neoclassical facade and white marble interior make the building a veritable shrine to some of Canada's most prized artistic possessions. Kenites of taste are interested in a small exhibition hall known as the Chamber, which is open primarily to select members of the Society of the Museum of Montreal's artistic community. The chamber is open on Wednesday night for special exhibition and postmodern performance art as organized by the Rose and Creamy Jade of the Widow's Coven. Most exhibitions consist of live eviscerated and sculptures of human limbs and flesh. Special mortals who attend are usually simultaneously repulsed and fascinated by what they see, and they often leave the desire to perform their own work of art. Chamber. That would be interesting to check. Because blue for the map, was it? I never remember. Okay, I think I know what that is. I think I've been there before. And so I'm wondering what that chamber on Wednesday nights, if that's still a thing. That would be interesting. Yeah, that's the one. Cool. Open Tuesday at 10 a.m. Let's go, girls. Angels Fall. Sheltered from the rest of the city by a 12-foot high stone wall with thick trees is the abandoned mansion of Ravenscrag, which served as a mental hospital. Something is flashing. Which served as a mental hospital during the 50s. The home was vacant until Ezekiel and his pack 2517 turned it into their lair, and then opened a club called Angels Fall. The club's dark, brooding atmosphere and location makes it a hit with the Sabbath, especially with members of the Young Covens. Angels Fall is open to both mortals and kind knights. Most humans don't survive the night. The main dance floor is located in what was the mansion's ballroom. The original wooden floor was replaced long ago with grey linoleum tiles for the asylum. And second floors contain patient and examination room, which are still furnished with old medical equipment, couches, and appropriate lighting. The basement contains an intricate system of corridor and cells that are illuminated by black lights and candles. The basement also houses the human remains of past inmates and recent victims. Each member of 2517 has a personal haven in Ravenscrag, hidden in an intricate system of secret passages. These tunnels lead to the mansion's ruined chapel that serve as the Convent's communal lair. I'm not gonna do the church of downtown, but I can definitely, I guess, do the East End. Okay, let's do it. Boulevard Saint Laurent marks the rough border between the Anglophone West and the Francophone East. The neighborhoods, nay, and districts that lie beyond the dynamic boulevard are characteristically French and, to a certain extent, more European than areas of Montreal's West and Westmount. At the same time, the East End is urban. A large percentage of Montreal's population, including a number of immigrants, live in the narrow confines that this part of the island. The neighborhood of the East End are reminiscent of 18th century Montreal, with quaint 2- and 3-story homes that have spiraling wrought iron staircase and hidden courtyard. Oh, I'm really not good, eh? The urban density of the area has led to an increase in crime. Many row houses shelter dark secret of incest and abuse. It's not that I'm not good, it's just that I'm not willing to bully myself into being upbeat and on the dot when I want the whole thing to be nice and chill and relax with the yoga music. It's just the mood, and because it's the mood, I don't pay attention to every word in a no silly way. And that's okay. I'm not on Big Brother or some shit like that. So I do it the way I want to do it. The show will find its audience. Oh man. Well, that person just before was like telling me my voice was really soothing, so maybe there's a market for that. But I need to learn to read, because reading is what? Fundamental. I'm not a person of language. I'm a person of languages, yes, but not of bullshit. I am a person of creation, not of illusion. I am not desperate enough to have to play someone else. The main, loosely bordered by Saint Laurent Boulevard and Saint Denis Street, is the most vibrant district in Montreal. A large number of ethnic communities, including Eastern European, Jamaican, Jewish, Italian, Portuguese, and Greek, are nestled between the side streets of the main. Each community effuses its ghetto with a unique flavor, but also with its particular prejudice and superstitions. These communities have always been bands to the Sabbath. The insular nature of the constant arrival of new migrants makes it difficult to detect foreign kinites. Whereas St. Catherine and its malls cater to mainstream styles, the main, in particular Saint Laurent's, appeals to the liberal and alternative. Many of Montreal's artists find inspiration in the cafes, bars, and bistros along the main and call the place home. So Saint Catherine and what? And Saint Laurent on Sherbrooke? Oh, oh, okay. Because Saint Laurent on Sherbrooke, there's probably more stuff than on Saint Catherine. On Saint Catherine, there's just like, oh, and Saint Denis, so it goes back to Berry-UQAM. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's well, yeah. It's the red light district and a few shops, and that's it. I don't really find the place really appealing for creatives or whatever, but artists. But why not? Leonard Cohen and painter Paul-Émile Bordua, amongst other notable artists, began their careers here. That's where I need to go. Yet Saint Laurent's openness is also its greatest weakness. Deviants and the desperate can also cite the anger on the number of vices that can be found here. Drugs and prostitutions are a major problem, as junkies and perverts roam the streets looking for a variety of fixes. The area is home to a number of homeless punks who look after each other and spend their days begging for money. These kids have fallen through society's cracks and are extremely narcissistic and violent. How curious that those two words are put together in that context. Once again, few live to see their 20s. Nightlife of the Main comes to life at night. The countless bars and clubs that line Saint Laurent's cater to almost every taste. The area has therefore becomes Montreal's premier Sabbath feeding ground. Several Kainites frequent these clubs, while still mortal, and the habit is hard to break, even in death. Most clubs are open past the legal closing time, and few bouncers ever check IDs. Blood dolls, punk, rockers, new agers, and sadomasochists all patronize these clubs and try to forget the city around them. It's not really the best way to live, huh? If your city is making you so, maybe it's not even the city, it's just you. You're so desperate for drugs and looking cool, like in human traffic. That's your life. But then blame everyone else for everyone else actually kind of like it. They don't push back against that for sure. It's not. Is it a happy life? Pills to stay up, pills to sleep. They can't stop taking pills. They have a strength devotion to their ideal that is crazy. They never reconsider that their habits. It's like work hard, play harder, but I'm like, I don't want to work hard. I want to play soft, yes, but I don't want to work. Me and my forecasting of retirement, I've been thinking about it for 15 years, so it's exactly the way it should happen, and some other people will take my spot and be manipulated into doing things. But I won't anymore. It's a shame. It's a shame to lose someone. Because you cling on your mom's delusion so hard. Anyway. Devils au 3607 Saint-Laurent, a two-story club that attracts the young and hip. It's a club. The fourth floor consists of a plush chill room that plays trance music. The upper level has become a hangout for members of the rave scene. Devils is in many ways the place to be seen, as well as the place to buy expensive designer drugs. What? Drugs? Les Foufounes. Au 87 Sainte-Catherine-Est, Fouf, formerly Foufoune Electric Butts, is a cornerstone of Montreal's underground scene. The club has been closed many times for drug-related offenses, but its door always reopened, defying both the police and the city administration. The city played varies. Nearly every alternative style is played while people trash around in Montreal's most notorious mosh pit. The decor is industrial, bordering on techno, via ample application of black lights, smoke machines, and lasers for atmosphere. Foof also serve as a venue for live performances. A number of underground bands have played here, included Ministry, Skinny Puppy, and many of Montreal's local bands. Certain packs, namely the Young 2517 and Les Orphelins, make it a point to attend Black Mondays to dance and revel in their vampiric powers. The Metropolis at 59 Sainte-Catherine East. I'm mixing French and English more and more. Metropolis is one of the few clubs in Montreal to achieve international recognition. Built in what was once a posh 20s movies house, Metropolis is a multi-level complex in which heterosexual ravers and gays can find corners to dance, drink, and do whatever they want. The main dance floor is serviced by 4 bars and overlooked by an extensive balcony. Toward the rear of the club is a movie screen on which video clips are synchronized with music. Metropolis. I think I went to Metropolis. Yeah. Red velvet couches are scattered throughout the club, giving Metropolis a baroque atmosphere. Okay. Purple Haze. Oh, Saint Laurent. Okay. At $36.99, Saint Laurent. Maybe I should highlight them. Well, not. Yeah. Okay, I can go and have a look at Metropolis by the window. If I know what it looks like. Another St. Lawrence notorious club, Purple Haze, is an interesting mix of 70s psychedelica and 90s techno. The small club attracts loyal followers, and the dance floor is usually packed every night of the week. During the summer month, those who don't get in carry of the party in adjoining abandoned building, or don't get in, carry on the party in adjoining building, where the music can still be heard. The art, so this one is the one that I need to highlight. Very few know of the small secluded club called The Art. Those who do are members of Montreal's fetish and S&M scene. The club is also a popular hangout for the Sabbath. It serves as the lair of the exotic Widow's Pack. The Art is located in the red light district of Montreal. Its discreet entrance marked by a small red leather door that seems to pulse in sync with the music inside. Catering to those who live on the wild side, the club is a labyrinth of corridors and small rooms where patrons engage in more number of activities, including dancing, heated discussion, art shows, photo shoots, and of course sexual acts. At The Art, anything is possible for a price. The walls, couches, and beds are covered with velvet, rubber, and leather. The lighting is soft. Let me rewind that. The lighting is soft. Most of the club is bathed in deep red hues and sweet smelling incense, concocted by the rose wafted through the air. The deeper one ventures into the art, the harder it becomes to repress one's desire. Even the most restrained vampires have been known to frenzy, giving in to their most perverse desires. In the deepest recess of the club is a corridor that leads to a large metallic door, from which moans and the rattling of chains can be heard. On the door itself are two human bodies, a male and a female, flesh crafted into place. The inner sanctum is shaped like a seven-pointed star. The walls are made of human flesh and infant bodies, merged together to form one continuous network of skin and veins. A chandelier bathes the room in deep, warm red light. In each of the seven corners of the inner sanctum is a small shrine dedicated to one of the seven deadly sins: envy, gluttony, greed, lust, pride, sloth, and wrath. These shrines are adorned with living icons that are attached to the living walls. The statues exemplify and constantly perform the scenes they represent. The rose and creamy jade regard the sanctum as their greatest work of art. And at the center, sorry, I'm charging my phone. At the center of the inner sanctum is a dais that filled with blood. Dais. Okay. Don't know what's that. Drops defy gravity by moving from the pool to the ceiling. The blood sustains the room's living walls and shrines. The floor is littered with plush velvet and satin pillows. Its bloodstains are hidden by the room's soft light. The widows greet all personal visitors in this room, but each widow private. Oh, fuck my life! I'm so completely mixed up in between my freaking brain and what I'm seeing. I'm not paying attention to it at all, so I'm just jumping from one to another. But each widow member has a private lair located elsewhere in the art. I'm just so lost. You know what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about a sandwich. Le plateau Mont-Royal. While the name mostly refers to St. Lawrence Boulevard, Le Plateau Mont-Royal includes the many smaller streets located between Saint-Denis and Saint Laurent, but that run parallels to Sherbrooke. The heart of the plateau is the intersection of Montreal Street and Saint-Denis. The area is largely residential. Its low rent and bohemian atmosphere attract students from both McGill and Université de Montréal. The area just east of McGill, delineated by Saint Laurent, is more commonly called the McGill Ghetto. It's not really that anymore because the plateau used to be bohemian maybe, but now it's bobo. Oops. On this street, nestled away from the bustle of Saint Laurent, is the faraway Seas bookstore. The one-room shop specializes in occult and esoteric items. To check. The Myland, the northern part of St. Laurent, starting roughly on Laurier Avenue, is in many ways the French twin of Sherbrooke Street. Oh. Well, there you go. Boutique and restaurant convey a francophone image. Of interest in Myland is Lux. Ooh, a cafe bistro which is known throughout Montreal for its extensive 3-story magazine racks, eclectic clientele, and vibrant discussions. To check. Marie-Hélène, a member of the Archbishop's Pack, meets here with francophone intellectual. Oh, that was the end. East End. So I'll come back to Le Village, because I think it's time to go. I thank you for the good time. Sorry for my slow pace and Usual dyslexia. This is what it is. This is why I'm doing it, to get better. So talk to you later. Bye.